Hi, welcome to AlvaroHartley.com. We're talking about the top 20 things regarding crisis management. And we just did one on emotions. We're doing on the second one on opinions. This is really important. Nobody knows your circumstances like you do, but everyone's got an opinion on what you should do. All right. And a lot of times their information is helpful. It may provide you some insight, but ultimately you are completely by yourself when it comes to your decision making, because you're responsible for yourself, and that level of independence requires you to make the decision and not put it on somebody else. So be very cautious of listening to opinions of other people and accepting opinions of other people, because they're not you and they're not your situation, and ultimately their opinion does not make them responsible for you. So when you have a crisis that happens to you, and let's say you get cancer, okay? Someone knows somebody who got cancer. Everybody knows somebody who got cancer, and a lot of people say, "Oh, well, that's a horrible form of disease," or "Oh gosh, that's so bad." They're not helpful. Their opinion around it is not helpful. Your circumstance is unique to you. A lot of times, people have a crisis that happens where somebody gets arrested, or they have a financial decision. Do you think that anybody you know who's going to file bankruptcy, for example, has lived that exact same circumstance? No, because every one of us is unique and different. It's very dangerous for someone in a crisis position to start collecting opinions, and I see this all the time. Really what they're trying to say is, I'm not alone in the universe. Well, I hate to tell you, but you're totally alone in the universe. You may have people around you who love you, who care for you, but ultimately you are a single individual. And it's funny, when I say it out loud, it sounds really bad, but you're completely alone, because no one can be responsible for you except you. And the reason I know that's true is that your thoughts and your way of dealing with things are going on up here that nobody can get access to. And so when you start collecting opinions, and you all know people like this, they are finding someone whose opinion matches theirs so they can be validated in their decision making. Those are the same people that when it goes bad will turn on that person and say, "You led me down the wrong path." They're victims. So if you catch yourself talking to people about your circumstance, trying to find commonality so that their opinion matches your opinion, you're already down a bad road, because you are assuming that their circumstances in which they form their opinion are the same circumstance you form yours. And I can assure you that you may be experiencing a crisis with somebody in the same exact circumstance, but their perceptions, their intuitions, their emotions are completely opposite of yours, even if you share the same circumstances. So what good does it do to collect opinions? Well, I don't think that's the right term. You shouldn't collect opinions. What you do is you collect decisions that they would make under similar circumstances. Take that data and maybe apply it to your circumstance and see if it's helpful. But do not go opinion shopping and opinion hunting, because every one of your friends, depending on what their motivations are or their life experience, will give you a different opinion. So when you're doing risk management, we've already talked about be careful of your emotions. The second one is your opinions, because they're really tied together. And you would be shocked that sometimes when a crisis occurs, the people closest to you have the worst opinions, because they don't want to associate that they could be possibly responsible for what's happening to you. And so when people feel like they're responsible for something, they change their opinion. It is very rare to find a completely objective opinion of something. And if that happens, you'll feel the truth in it and you'll start applying it correctly. So be very careful about getting your sort of victimization bag out and stuffing opinions in it to see if you can get what you need. Because crisis management is about dealing with things objectively, not subjectively. Thanks a lot. Bye.